Hi everyone. Today we're going to work on probably one of the most important control commands, and that's coming when called. Coming when called is always rewarded. So we need to think a little bit about our rewards before we even begin talking about coming when called. One of the things that you want to do is make sure that every single time your dog comes to you, when you've called him to come, that you give him some sort of a reward. Now remember that rewards can be all different types and kinds of things. Rewards can be your praise, your petting, it can be a food treat, it can be a toy. But I want you to think about your rewards as everything from a low value reward to a high value reward. So I was thinking about it, and for Leo, when I'm working with him, my petting is low value, praise is a little bit higher, then I can move to food, and his kibble, I've got some right here, kibble is low value, moves up to dog treats, and then I like to use cheese for my highest value. Sometimes I'll use a little bit of turkey or hot dog pieces, but today I'm using cheese. So I've got everything ordered from lowest of value to the highest of value. Now, if he comes to me when I call amongst a whole bunch of distractions, let's say the neighborhood dog is walking down the street and he sees him and he really wants to head toward that dog. If I call to come and he turns his head and comes running right back to me, I'm going to give him a high value reward. It's not going to just be a piece of kibble for that one. I really want to encourage you to practice coming when called in all different types and kinds of situations, and I want you to practice it really, really often. You don't have to be out in the backyard to do this. You can be in the house, and the dog does not have to be a huge distance away from you. He can be very close to you. Any forward movement toward you after you say the word come is coming when called. To make things easier on you, I'm going to ask that you not reward your dog until you actually have the opportunity to touch him. Okay? I usually like to touch the collar because let's face it, if they're out running in the yard and it's time to come in and you need to catch them to bring them in, first thing you're going to do is grab at the collar. So I want to be able to call my dog to come, have him approach, be excited, and I want to bend down and be able to touch that collar. When you're practicing coming when called, as you're training your dog, I always like to have control. I'm a control freak. But to do this, I am going to give myself a little bit more distance. I have a line, and this is probably, 15 feet of a line with a clasp at the end. And I'm going to hook this onto my dog's training collar and just let him drag it. He can drag it in the house, he can drag it out here, out in the yard. If he decides to bolt and go in another direction, I've got 15 feet of line that all I have to do is step on, and I will have regained my control. Make sure that when you're calling your dog to come, you use appropriate body language, okay? When dogs are very little, and we oftentimes teach them that as we're trying to get them, we're coming toward them and we're grabbing at them. We're leaning in and leaning forward and reaching for that collar. We're going to kind of change things up now, and we're going to make them want to come to us by leaning away and using that praise and reward and having them come up to us. We're going to play hard to get. As you do this, we're going to be backing away, activating their chase instinct, and and causing him to speed up a little bit. I also like to lower my position. If I'm standing up, I find that as I'm leaning forward to touch that collar, I'm taking up a little bit of their space and causing them to step back a little bit. So I tend to lean back and lower my position. It's a little bit more inviting as they come in. So what we're going to do is I'm going to just switch the camera around. We're going to head out to the yard here. I'm going to hook Leo onto his line and put his training collar on, and we will get started. Okay, we're going to get started here. I've got Leo on my 15-foot line or leash, and I'm just going to drop it. Remember, that is on there just so that I can gain a little bit of control if you should decide to take off in a direction or start to head in a different direction where I can't actually catch him very quickly. I can just step on that line, pick it up, and I'll have control once again. So, okay, Leo, I'm going to let him wander around a little bit. Remember that your body language has to be very, very inviting. You have to be excited and use your tone of voice as well as activating that chase instinct when you call to come. I'm going to try to get him to kind of wander away here. Leo, come! What a good dog! All right. I'm going to bend down and call him into come. Come here. What a good dog. As soon as I can get him close enough using my praise, I'm going to reach down and touch that collar. Okay. So using a low value reward. My praise for Leo is, and petting is a low value reward. I'll let him wander around again. Wait. On the way, get down, and I didn't have to reach out too far, and he was right here so that I could touch that collar. Okay. So, Leo, come! Good boy. What a good job. Okay. Oh, he saw me very slightly reach down and increase the value of my reward. Sit. I'm going to exercise a little bit of control. Okay. Good. I don't really care that he's jumping up on me right now because he's up so close, I can just reach out and touch that collar. They'll come. Good boy. Okay. They'll come. Good. Okay. So you can see that I've got his attention. This is actually a lot of fun for the dog. They'll come. Activating that chase instinct, getting them to follow you. All too often, we chase them. So you can have a lot of fun with that. Now we can also put a little bit more of a formal twist on this. As your dog becomes more and more successful with coming when called, soon as he hears his name, hears the word come, spins around, heads in your direction, you can ask him to do a sit in front of you so that you can reach down and touch that collar. For those dogs that are really, really speedy and come barreling into you, because this is again for them, the sit command often slows them down as they're coming in. Now I'm going to have Leo do a sit and a stay so that I can call him to come, because I don't think I'll get him distracted too much here. Leo, sit, stay. Leo, come. Leo, sit. My hands are at my waist. I'm not reaching down toward him, but he's looking up and expecting that reward. I'm going to reach into my pocket here. He's got a lot of patience. I should have been more prepared. Touch that collar. Okay. And there we go. Try it again. Sit. Stay. Leo, come. Sit. And there we go. Touch the collar. Okay. have it.